was wondering if you could just talk to me a little bit about how important it is for you to potentially be the very first woman to have a win under Power Slap.
Well, it's extremely important for me, coming all the way from South Africa, having the opportunity in this amazing platform. I think to be able to walk away from this and a win, that would be just mind blowing for me. So it's very important for me. I'm focused on that.
Is that adding extra pressure to not just, performing somewhere new, going against someone new in a place that's new? Now this is the first one, there's going to be extra eyes. Is there extra pressure?
I prefer to see the what you would think as pressure as more as motivation. So for me, that the extra pressure is actually extra motivation. It motivates me even more to do my absolute best. So I see it as motivation.
What do you think of your opponent?
Ah, well, I have all the respect in the world for Sheena. I think she's a brilliant athlete. She's a strong woman, and I respect anyone that would stand across from me, and if it's a cage or a ring or in this case a stage. So I've got all the world of respect for her, but I think it's going to be an awesome match.
What was the face off like for you? Did you get any kind of idea of the kind of person she'll be?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think we've got mutual respect for each other as athletes. So no, the face-off was intense, but I think that's exactly how the match is also going to be. It's going to be an intense match.
Do you find that it's hard to find women that want to do power slap
Yeah,
or slap fighting?
absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think even in MMA, where I also I'm a fighter, even there it's very difficult, especially where I'm from in South Africa. There's so many, um, stigmas around fighting, so it's difficult to find women. And now with Power Slab, in that going into that new frontier with women and being pioneers in the sport for women now, I think it is quite difficult to find. But hoping that me and Sheena will be able to kind of break that barrier down and hopefully see more women come competing.
What would you say to somebody who was a woman who was considering trying it?
Well, I would say that there is so much more to slap fighting than what a lot of people realize. Even myself, when I started, didn't realize how much technique and accuracy and conditioning actually goes into it. So, for any woman that's up for it, I would say please try it. Try it and see what it actually entails and how much more it is than what most people think it is.
Thank you.
Corey with Slap News. What does it mean to you to represent South Africa, as a power slap athlete, as they begin to showcase international athletes and the women division?
Well, I think it's for me, it's very important to represent South Africa because in South Africa, we're trying to get the slap fighting going and getting it sanctioned and all of those things. So I think being able to be here as a South African and as a woman to showcase it to the world, I think it's going to open a lot of doors for other athletes in South Africa to compete there and as well, hopefully take the step to compete overseas and so forth.
How is power slap being received in South Africa right now?
I think it's got the same type of mixed receptions that it has here in the States as well. A lot of people are eager and excited about it. Some people have some questions about it, but that's what we're hoping to break down those barriers and showcase what it actually is about and how much, like I mentioned before, how much more technique is actually in goes into it. It's not just about standing across from each other and hitting each other as hard as possible.
How did you get involved in power slap, and what was the motivation for you to want to come and go up against Sheena?
Well, the way I got involved was quite an emotional journey for me because what actually happened as a pro MMA fighter, I tore my ACL and my cartilage in my right knee, and I was going through the rehab and I was very frustrated because I couldn't train the way I used to train, and I had to have a lot of patience and that kind of thing. So I was kind of almost in a depressive state, not being able to go forward. And then I got approached to do a charity event for slap fighting, and at that stage, I felt like maybe this is something I can do for now and go forward from here. And it kind of gave me a goal, something to work towards, and it lifted me right out of that the depression that I was feeling with my sport. And so it means a lot to me to be able to actually compete here now, because it saved me in a situation where I was really in a dark place, and now it's literally, look where I am right now. So it's amazing how sometimes your dreams can come true in the strangest ways. So I mean, it's always been a dream for me to be here at the UFC, and here I am.
Amazing. What do you know of Sheena, and what is your assessment of her skill set?
I know quite a lot about her. But I mean, a previous slap has gone viral, and that was an awesome knockout. And I respect her a lot as an athlete. She's a great judo champion as well, a bodybuilder. So I respect her as an athlete, and I think it's going to be an awesome match. I think she's a very strong woman, and we're definitely going to see that tomorrow.
What do you think is going to be the difference maker for you tomorrow?
For me, I think it's the focus and the motivation. I'm very focused and aggressive when I get onto that stage, and I think that's going to be the major difference.
We've seen Sheena take quite a drastic weight cut to be able to make, the weight cap of 146. You came in at 142. Do you think that's going to play a factor at all tomorrow, having to, dehydrate down that much, and then potentially what the discrepancy in weights will be tomorrow night at fight time?
Yeah, I think it's going to balance out because she had to do such a big cut. I prefer not to, for slap fighting, do such big cuts, because trying to keep your consciousness and that kind of thing, I prefer not to. That's why I did a very long, slow cut to get to 145, and then obviously I dropped a little bit to 142 with the traveling and that kind of thing. So, no, I think it's going to balance out with her hydration, me being a bit lighter than her. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a lot about technique and conditioning. So it's I think it's going to be balanced out. Cool.
Hi, you have an extensive athletic background. What was the reaction like from friends, family, coaches when you said you were going to go power slap?
Well, mixed reactions. So coaches excited, and that's in the sporting industry, very excited, and saw it as a new challenge, a new frontier, how to, when we're busy with the camp, how to approach it and that kind of thing. Family was a bit worried because, like I said, they didn't quite understand it yet. So my mother especially, she was quite worried about it. But I think they've been put at ease, because me having an extensive combat sports background, I've been through this. They've been through this with me and supported me all the way. So they're still behind me all the way. They back me.
You mentioned there's more to this than you originally thought when you came into this. Did you learn that kind of just training on your own, or have you been working with any of these veteran slappers behind the scenes a little bit?
Well, no. When I realized there's more to it was way back in South Africa where I started slapping. So it was a bit more of my own training, working with my coaches and going through it. My style has evolved completely from where I did it the first time, knowing not very much about it. And then also working with the people there in South Africa that knows that has their own leagues and started up their own leagues, and working with them and trying to figure out what's the best techniques and all of that, and looking at power slap and just building from there. And yeah, I think we've got a good idea now.
Previous fighters have mentioned to me that there's a really big mental aspect of standing on stage and not defending yourself to take a strike. As an MMA fighter, do you think there's going to be any challenge with you flinching or getting ready to just take an undefended strike?
It is a big mental preparation, and I think that's why visualization is so important before the fight. You have to visualize yourself giving the slap and taking it and realizing it's coming and just taking it and bracing for it. My previous fights, I didn't have any issues with flinching, because like I said, just the focus is a big part of the way I train, is just to focus completely. I know what's coming. It's a discipline, and you just have to stand there and take it. But it is quite a mental obstacle to get over, so I understand that completely.
Thank you so much for your time. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.